Hello everyone and welcome back to Kentucky Garden Gal. I am Nancy and we are setting in my tiny little 6x10 Harbor Freight greenhouse that I have had for probably 15 years. And this is the time of year that I feel like I really need a greenhouse and when I use it the most. Now, this year I did try to overwinter some ferns and different things like that in here, and I had some success, but we had that Arctic blast, the 10 days, that was just so cold, and even though I had heat in here, I just think I have some things that probably aren't going to make it. But I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you to the channel. If you are new, my name is Nancy and I garden in Kentucky, which is a zone 7. Depending on where you look, I think they've changed it now. We could be either an A or a B, but the one thing about where I live is that we truly do experience all 4 seasons. So that is what I'm gardening in. So I'm so glad that you're here, and today what I want to do is actually 3 projects. And the first one you see I have sitting on my little table here. This is rosemary, and this is rosemary that I have propagated in water. I have a sweet potato vine, actually I have 2. And then I have some begonias that at the end of the season last year, I put these in water. All I have done is I will change out the water. And we're gonna look together and see how things did, because some things did really well and some things not so well. So whenever you are doing something and maybe you don't have a success, it's okay, because we all have failures, and this begonia that I'm going to show you is a perfect example. This, by the way, is a propagation station that my friend Chris gave me, and this is the first time that I have used it. So as you can see, these are begonias. Now, I did all three were done the exact same way from the same plant. This one, not one root. This one, that one has a root. See the little white root there? I'll clean off what is dead. And then this one, a root on this node. This part right here is called a node. So out of 3, I had 2 that successfully rooted, and they sort of did it in different ways, and then one that, you know, I didn't have any success with at all. But that's okay, because, you know, these are free plants. These are 2 free plants that I'm going to have in my garden this year that I won't have to buy. I won't have to go out. These are annuals. I won't have to go out and buy. So we will look at this rosemary now, and I want to tell you where this rosemary came from. I had gone out to the Browns. It's a video that I made that they have llamas, and they're just very crafty and talented people. He makes his own, he ferments his own medicine and different things like that. So we were talking about rosemary, and I said, I really want to start some rosemary. He had just clipped his and had put these in the trash, and he was like, go dig you some out of the trash. That is exactly what I did. And I just want to show you. I'm going to have to take these out. Look at these roots. So there's one. Don't see any on that one. That one's not usable. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 free plants. Now just think about that, and they smell wonderful. And I've actually come out, or I had them in the house in the kitchen window. I have actually been cutting on these through the winter months to cook with. But this is 5 free plants. So there we go. And all I did was stick, oh, there's another, well, no, that doesn't look viable. But what you're looking for are the white roots. These are good, healthy roots. So we will pot those up, and what I'll do, I'm going to pot all of these up. I have them on a little tray, and I'm going to watch the temperatures because I will keep these out in the greenhouse some, because Lucy is really getting into my plants. She's just being so naughty. But yeah, I'll keep these out, but if it's going to get really low, I will need to bring them in the house. So this is a sweet potato vine, and you're sitting there thinking, why is she even bothering? But look at the roots on this. The root system is incredible. All we need to do is put it in some soil, and you know, this thing should be fine. This is a purple sweet potato vine, and there's one. I'm going to go ahead and tear these apart gently. Let's see, there's 2. That one didn't make it. See how soft and squishy it is? That one didn't make it. So we've got, there's another one that didn't make it, but that's okay, because look at the roots on that. So we've got 3, 4. See, that one didn't make it. But look at the roots on that. Holy cow. 5. And then though it's tiny, I'm going to go ahead and pot it up. But there is 6. So I have gotten 5 free rosemary plants, 7 free sweet potato vines, and 2 free begonias. So all I need to do, and I have the soil that I'm going to use. I've watered this, so it's pre-soaked. I don't ever put plants into dry soil. You always want to make sure that your soil is good and wet. And I use warm water. I just think the plants like that. I don't like a cold bath, so I don't think they do either. But I have plenty more over here that I will fill these containers up better. But let me show you how simple this is. I'm just going to use my fingers. No need to get all fancy with gloves. Oops, that didn't get quite as wet as I wanted it to, so the top of this is going to be dry, but that's okay. We'll soak it down good. Before the end of this video, y'all, it's as simple as that. Look at this. Now I can come in, I can clean this up and cut this little bit off right here. But yeah, that's a free plant, one that I propagated in water. There's no reason that this plant shouldn't do well. So I'm going to put on some music, and I'm going to get busy and pot these up. And the next thing that we're going to do, I have a beautiful rectangle terracotta pot that I had upstairs on the balcony, and I looked out and noticed that it had grown this really pretty moss on top. So I am going to actually bring that downstairs, use it in the house, in the kitchen, and I'm going to plant hyacinth bulbs in that. And then the last thing that we'll do is we will do some actual seed starting. So I'm going to work on this propagation, and you just enjoy the music while I do. You can just sort of watch me work. me pot these up. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 basically free plants. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to take them in the house and I'm going to take off anything that's dead that doesn't look very nice. I'll make sure these are watered well, clean everything, and then before the end of the video, I will show you what these look like when I get finished with them. So let's move on to the next project. Okay, we are now ready for our next project. So this is what we're going to do. This is the terracotta pot that we are going to be using, and I'm sure I'll probably pick this up at an estate sale, but it's just a nice rectangular style terracotta pot. I do have a saucer under it, and the saucer has a crack in it, so I wanted to replace it, but luckily I didn't throw it away, because when I went to look for one, I couldn't find another one. So I may just have to tape this one up a little bit. This is what I'm going to be planting in here. Now, there are 14 bulbs in this, and I just love the colors. The yellow, the peach, the white. So what I am going to do, and then of course you see the moss that's on here. So the first thing that I am going to do is to gently remove this moss, and I'll just set it right here beside me. I think this is so pretty, and it didn't cover the entire surface, but it sure covered a lot of it, and I thought it would look so pretty for the bulbs to come out. And hopefully by taking this inside and taking good care of it, maybe the moss will grow back together. Maybe it won't look so chopped up, but I'm trying to move it in just as big a patches as I can, but it's just not working out all that well. But we're gonna do the best we can, and we'll see how it turns out. So I have gotten the moss removed, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my hyacinths, and what I want to know is okay, so I want this hyacinth bulb to come right here. So I didn't know if I needed to add soil or take out soil, but it looks like I'm gonna need to add some soil, because I really want them to all be the same height. So now what I'm gonna start doing, I should be able to get, I'm just gonna play with these because I don't honestly know how they are all going to fit in. But we know we've got 14, and we know that they need to be planted. So let's just see how this turns out. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Turns out there wasn't 12 in here, there was only 11, but it looks to me like, honestly, 6 is going to be the magic number. So I think what I'm gonna do is just move these in here a little bit, put just a little bit of soil around them. And that should have everything up to the top where I want it. So let's just see how this goes. And I'll play you some more pretty music while I work. How about that? This is how it looks. Now, obviously, it needs to be cleaned up, but what I will do is take it in the house and I will get all of the soil from around the edges and try to get what I can off of the moss, and then we will set this in a sunny location and just watch it grow, and I'll take pictures when the bulbs bloom. So let's get on to our next project, which is starting some seeds. I'm going to pick out some seeds and we're going to start them together. Okay, we are ready for our last project of the day, and we are going to start some seeds. And I wanted to show you, this is what I picked up. This is for seed starting, and you notice that it has peat moss, coconut coir, and vermiculite. So believe it or not, this bag will last me probably all season long. I mean, it just doesn't take that much soil. Now, I had already some soil from last fall in my pots, and I'm not going to take these out. All I did, I put some water in to rehydrate everything. So, but it's not enough soil to start my seeds. I like it to be completely full. So here's what we're gonna do. I just use an old plastic container from the kitchen that I no longer want to use. We're gonna put our soil in. Sit that right there. Next, we are going to add water. So all I know to tell you is just put some in there, get your hands in there, and start stirring, and then I'll show you the consistency that we are looking for. Now, the number one reason that people fail when it comes to starting things from seed is too much water. They literally drown the seed. So you have to know how much is too much and how much is not enough. So, and all I can tell you is that as you do it, I think that you get better. But see, we want it to hold together. We want it to form a ball. And that's what that's doing. So all I'm going to do is top off this container. And then we'll wipe off my hand and we will start planting our seeds. But I think this is so relaxing. I just love to be out working in my garden and looking forward to beautiful blooms and time spent with family and friends outside. So what I'm going to be demonstrating today are straw flowers. And I recently got these in the mail. I ordered them from Select Seeds. I received their catalog and then looked and discovered that they actually had some things that I wanted in my garden, but I didn't have the seeds for. So I went ahead and ordered those. This is what they look like. This flower dries really, really well. I really want to increase the amount of flowers that I dry for the fall. I just think that they're so pretty. And this is a salmon color. And whenever you see the word king or sometimes California in the name of the plant, you know it's going to be bigger than a standard flower. So I always look for those and try to get the biggest flowers that I can find. I have to put my glasses on to read the instructions. So it is a half hardy annual. It needs full sun and it flowers from summer to fall. From seed to bloom is 12 weeks. So sowing indoors, it gives all the instructions on the back. Sow indoors 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost. And if you want to know what the last frost date is for your area, go to Google or whatever search engine you use and put in last frost in your zip code and it'll tell you. Ours is generally, we're usually safe around April the 15th in our area. So it says keep at 70 to 75 degrees, set outside once nighttime temperatures remain above 50 degrees. So these are going to have to stay in the house because I don't think I can consistently keep the greenhouse between 70 and 75 degrees. Okay, so it says planting depth, and this is important. All the information that you need about a flower is on the back of the packet. It says surface sow and firmly, lightly, requires light to germinate. So what does that mean? That means that all we have to do is put our seeds on top. And let me show you what they look like. That's what they look like. They are tiny, tiny, tiny. So this is what I am going to attempt to do. I'm going to attempt to drop 3 in each of my trays. Because I don't want to sow all of my seeds at once or use all of my seeds and then something happen or go wrong and it not work. But hopefully by planting, and then that's how much I have left over, there's still some in the container, I can probably do 2 more trays of the 12 pack. I'm going to put this right back in here Now, like it said, it needs light to germinate. So all I'm gonna do is press firmly this seed in. And something else that I'm going to do, I am going to take some saran wrap and I'm going to put over top of this, and I'm just going to create a little microclimate that this can get plenty of condensation from. So all I'm doing now is just pressing my seeds as it's suggested on the back of the packet. That is it. I am done. Just going to clean up my trays a little bit. And then, like I said, this is good and moist. It's not, when I hold it up, I don't see anything dripping. It's not setting in water. So I am going to watch this. I'm going to set this in a window inside, and I'm going to watch this. And like I said, I am going to put the saran wrap over the top, but I will watch this and see how it does. And let's go and finish up this video by looking at everything that we've done today. And I will let you know that I'm working on a video for next week where I am planting both sweet peas and the edible peas, the sugar snaps. So if you are in zone 7 and you're interested in having sweet peas or peas to eat, now is the time to plant those. So I'm going to bring you along with me as I plant both of those, and that will be next week's video. But let's look at everything that we did today. Okay, everyone, here is our finished plants, and you see that we have 12 hyacinths in there that will bloom. I did put the saran wrap over top of this tray of straw flowers because remember it said it needed to be between 70 and 75 degrees. Now what I did, you'll notice I have a towel here on the table, and I have an old school heating pad sit on low that is directly underneath this. So it's not even 75 degrees in my house normally. So I need to heat this soil up so that these will germinate properly. So that's what I'm going to do, is just keep these on this old heating pad that I use as a heating mat. Now I have seen people use like the Christmas lights. You just need something to heat up your soil, and I have like a 2-level planter in the living room, and I have a candle in the bottom, and my night blooming cereus starts in the tops, and just by lighting that candle, those night blooming cereuses are just taken off. But here are the plants that we started, that we propagated from water. So, you know, these do look a little puny, but we've got quite a while before we're going to be putting these out in our pots. So look at all the flowers I got from water propagation, seed, and then bulbs that I bought on clearance. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and we will see you next week. Like I said, we're planting peas. Y'all have a great week.